Have you ever wondered why some individuals throughout history seem to lack any sense of empathy or remorse? Perhaps it's because they were psychopaths, individuals characterized by persistent antisocial behavior, impaired empathy, and bold, disinhibited, and egotistical traits. This unsettling psychological condition isn't a modern phenomenon. It has shadowed humanity throughout its existence, lurking in the darkest corners of society. Today, we will unravel the chilling chronicles of the most infamous psychopaths that ever walked the earth. Our journey begins in the ancient world, where psychopaths were as present as they are today. Let's take a stroll down the corridors of history where the echoes of their deeds still reverberate. First, let's visit Rome during the rule of Emperor Caligula. His reign was marked by sadistic pleasure in violence, manipulation, and an utter lack of empathy, the hallmarks of a psychopath. He was known to turn even the most mundane events into spectacles of horror just for his amusement. We then move to Egypt, under the rule of Pharaoh Ramses III. His reign, too, was marred by acts of excessive cruelty and a disregard for human life. His obsession with power and control, and his chilling indifference towards the suffering of his subjects, paints a disturbing picture of a psychopath in power. These ancient rulers, with their cruel and unpredictable behavior, set a chilling precedent for the psychopaths to come. As we move into the Middle Ages, the psychopaths we encounter become even more chilling. The medieval era was a time of brutal warfare, religious fervor, and power struggles, creating an environment in which psychopathy could thrive. Take for instance Vlad the Impaler. This Wallachian prince was infamous for his sadistic pleasure in impaling his enemies, a gruesome spectacle that earned him his chilling moniker. His brutal reign left a bloody stain on the annals of history, making him one of the most notorious psychopaths of the medieval era. Then there was Gilles de Rais, a French nobleman and comrade-in-arms of Joan of Arc. Beneath his noble exterior lurked a monstrous predator. He was convicted and executed for the horrific murders of dozens, perhaps hundreds of children. A case of psychopathy hidden under the guise of nobility. These medieval figures demonstrated the terrifying extremes of psychopathic behavior. In modern history, the psychopaths we encounter are no less terrifying. As we moved into the 20th century, a new breed of psychopath emerged, one that was arguably more chilling, given their ability to hide in plain sight. Take for instance Ted Bundy, a man of charm and intelligence who used these traits to lure and brutally murder more than 30 women. Bundy was a master manipulator, able to feign injury or disability to gain the trust of his victims. He was a monster in disguise, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Then there's Charles Manson, a man who didn't commit the murders himself, but used his charismatic personality to manipulate others into doing his dark bidding. He convinced his followers, known as the Manson family, to commit a series of 9 horrific murders over the summer of 1969. Manson's ability to control and manipulate is a chilling testament to the destructive power of a psychopathic personality. And let's not forget David Berkowitz, also known as the Son of Sam, who terrorized New York City in the late 70s with a series of random shootings. His crimes, seemingly without motive, demonstrated the terrifying unpredictability of a psychopathic mind. These modern psychopaths, with their chilling lack of empathy and remorse, continue to haunt our collective consciousness. As we have seen, psychopathy is a chilling phenomenon that has existed throughout human history. This disturbing facet of humanity has manifested itself in many forms, from the earliest civilizations to the modern era. The common thread, a lack of empathy, remorse, or guilt, coupled with a cunning, manipulative nature. In the ancient world, we saw leaders like Caligula, wielding power with a terrifying disregard for human life. Fast forward to the medieval times where rulers like Vlad the Impaler became infamous for their brutal and merciless reigns. And in our modern age, well, figures like Ted Bundy have shown us that even in civilized societies, psychopathy lurks in the shadows. Each of these individuals, though separated by centuries and cultures, share an unsettling commonality, an absolute disregard for the sanctity of human life. These infamous figures serve as a stark reminder of the dark side of human nature.